Now we're gonna talk about our favorite Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and this was the first Resident Evil game I ever owned and played. I first played the demo version, and then my brother wanted to get the whole game, and so playing that, it was very, very enjoyable. To me, it's more like, to me I feel like this is what Resident Evil 2 should have been like, because it has our favorite Resident Evil character in it, Jill Valentine, and it talks about what happened to her after Resident Evil 1, like how she's trying to escape Raccoon City and stuff like that. And since this game takes place pretty much before Resident Evil 2 and after Resident Evil 2, and there are some, and you can pretty much tell this, but there are some things that are kind of puzzling since this game takes place before and after Resident Evil 2. Here's my thing. There are certain doors, when you go to the police station in Resident Evil 3, certain doors are either barricaded or locked and you can't get through them. Which is kind of weird because this game takes place before, the beginning takes place before Resident Evil 2, and those doors are not unlocked and stuff, are not blocked up by barricades, stuff like that. So that is a little strange. But they have a couple new features here that this game has, like this dodge move, where if you press a certain button combination at the right time, Jill can dodge zombies to avoid getting bitten by them.
If you master it, you can pretty much never get hit. It's kind of cool that it was in there, and you introduced the 180 turn.
Yeah, and you also have this reloading tool that can be used to make your own ammo, like using gunpowder or certain grenade rounds for your grenade launcher and stuff. And of course, I'm playing on easy mode here because I really suck this game on hard mode. I have gotten far in hard mode, but I cannot beat Nemesis at first to try and get those custom parts for my handgun or anything like that. So, but like, if you can get past like trying to fight Nemesis without the special weapons, you can beat it on hard mode. But to me, I had trouble with that. I mean, I'm trying to get better on hard mode. I'm trying my hardest here. But it's that right now I'm playing on easy, but the thing is that I'm not going to be cheap easy by using the assault rifle and everything right away. I'm using my handgun and stuff and using the better weapons for later when the time comes, because when you're at the beginning of the game, you don't really need those weapons right away. But I remember when I first played easy mode and found 2 magnums, I really thought I could dual wield the magnums for some reason. I thought that could happen, and boy was I wrong there. And of course, this game is there are some things that are similar with this on Resident Evil, but there's also some things that make it better. Like, for example, the load times are quicker. Most of the save rooms in this game have 2 doors. Like, there were a lot of them, and like all the save rooms in the first Resident Evil had only 1 door, and some of them in the second game had 2 doors, but there's a lot of them in Resident Evil 3 that have like 2 doors and stuff like that. So I don't know why. It's just kind of a little small detail I want to talk about here. So yeah. And what else is there? Like graphically, I think the graphics are pretty much a little bit better than Resident Evil 2. Well, the CG cutscenes have a slower frame rate, but they look better and stuff to me, even with the slower frame rate. And I feel like that this time the backgrounds are actually really good looking. Like of course let's see, you got the uptown area, which is like all in ruin and chaos because of what happened with the zombie outbreak. Even the downtown area looks great. You got this like restaurant, this gas station, this hospital and stuff, and they really improved here. I think Capcom knew what they wanted to do with this game. I'm glad they did. There were some people who complained about this game that there's only 1 disc and only play as 1 character almost the game, but who cares? You're still playing the game. Wait, would you rather have a game where you play as a Resident Evil game where you play as like a dog or something like that and just totally throw out the storyline? No, you don't want that. But I'm gonna have Anthony here talk. I've been talking about this game enough. I'm gonna have Anthony say something now.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 3, it's my favorite game of all time. Resto is just kind of like the connection I have with that game. I don't know why it was that game, but it was. Yeah, I mean, it's just for me. Like I said, it's not taking away from the other 2, but yeah, this one just kind of stuck with me. I like Jill's my favorite. I like the idea of the Nemesis system, which is still used in video games today because of that.
Nemesis scares the crap out of you. Like, he would appear in certain times. He would scare you. Like, it would literally scare. When I first played the game, it literally made me scream. Just like how it did with Down Crisis. Down Crisis made me scream too when I first played it, because like all the jump scares like that. I literally, me being 11 years old at the time, I was scared of that game. I got scared, and they succeeded in scaring people. That's for sure. But like, there was just like even like the music here, the music is actually much better this time. I mean, I feel like the music is pretty much on par with the first game. So like it feels like it doesn't feel like action horror like. I mean, this I know I said the soundtrack when that was in the first game was like horror like horror like scare horror like. Well, there are some songs in this game that are kind of scare horror like. So it's kind of like a combination of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 1 soundtrack. That's just me though. And of course, let's see. What else you gotta say about Resident Evil 3 here? Like what?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like this one because they think it's too action-based. I think this one's perfect balance. You know, between Jill and Carlos, I like that idea of them randomly meeting and then having to just stick together to survive. I love the environments. I love the city environments. I love downtown, uptown. I like the clock tower. I like the dead factory. I like all the parts of the game. I like the 2 different endings you can get. The costumes you can unlock. The weapons that Nemesis drops. The challenge. The dodging mechanics are great. You know, it introduced mercenaries, which is the mini game. You know, it introduced that. Which, yeah, it's different than the Resident Evil 2 battle mode, which we didn't talk about, but that one, mercenary is a little bit different than the battle mode. It's more so of like, you know, you'd have to kill enemies to get time. You don't pick up time. You just kill enemies to get time. So this is the only rendition of Mercenaries that has the style of gameplay like that. There's a lot of just great elements to it, and it's suspenseful, it's scary, the music's amazing, the voice acting's amazing.
Probably the best voice acting ever in the Resident Evil game.
Yeah, Nikolai's awesome, Catherine Disher's awesome as Jill.
Yeah, one of the best Canadian actresses out there, and I feel like Catherine Disher is the best voice actress in the whole game, and for Jill.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there! How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here!
No! I'm not going anywhere! I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone! I told you! I'm not leaving! Never! Just get away from me.
Wait, I have to ask you something.
I know. You want to ask me out? All the foxy ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy.
What? Keep dreaming. Tell me, why did Umbrella send your team in?
We're here to rescue the civilians.
Don't lie to me. Umbrella is the reason why this whole mess began.
Look, we're just mercenaries, hired hands. Do you really think the master would tell his dogs why they have to retrieve the stick he just threw? If you want answers, you should talk to someone else. I am not with Umbrella. Believe it or not, we're only here to rescue the civilians. If you can trust me, then help us.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know who the actress for. I mean, they didn't really give you a clear indication on who the actress's name for Jill in the first game was, but she was the best voice actor.
It was like Iniza or something.
They only gave her first name.
Yeah, they didn't. They were so embarrassed they didn't even want to put their last names on it. I'm sure they're kicking themselves now because of that. But yeah, back then, you know, if people did it for a paycheck, they didn't want their full names on the game. I mean, they were ashamed of it for some reason. They're probably not proud of their acting debut or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
So, you know, here they are now, and then it's like it's the biggest, you know, it's the biggest thing. It's larger than life now. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 3 just hits everything great. It's the perfect end of a trilogy. It's the perfect way to end the Raccoon City trilogy. And
yeah, I was about to say that.
And they did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious that it's even in Japan it's called Biohazard: The Last Escape. So it's pretty much. Yeah. I think it was supposed to be the last game. I mean, I have a feeling that they were going to make that the last game, even though they were on the way to destroy Umbrella. But I feel like that with Raccoon City gone and stuff like that. Yeah, spoiler because... Go ahead.
Well, considering that Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be Devil May Cry, I think that alone shows you that they really wanted to end it on a certain way and do something completely different. So, but that didn't happen because Devil May Cry was too different. Then they made their own game, and then Resident Evil 4 went through a bunch of changes as like the Ghost game and all that stuff. So, they definitely it was a stamp on the end of like a part of the game series. That's why the trilogy is kind of stands on its own. Even Code Veronica, Code Veronica, we'll talk about that next, but Code Veronica is a great game, but again, it is very different in a way. It has the same kind of idea, but 3 was the end of a trilogy for a reason.
Oh yeah, because the last game took place in Raccoon City, and in fact, like, this game was released on the PC. This is the version you see here. Once again, it's the PlayStation version. It was on the PC. It was on the PC, the GameCube, and the Sega Dreamcast. And it didn't get an N64 release, probably because it was too powerful for the system, I'm guessing. But I only played the PlayStation version. But I can tell you this: that the Dreamcast version is pretty much on par with the second game, which I'm sure Anthony would agree there. And the PC version probably the same thing.
PC version's great, yeah. PC version is just like Dreamcast, where you can pick the costumes from the start. You can play mercenaries from the start, and yeah, it's. My ratings would honestly probably be the same.
And the GameCube version is probably the same story as
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. I would give that the same rating as a 2 because it's the same. Again, it's literally the same thing.
It's crazy how high priced those two GameCube versions
They're $50, yeah, $49.99 for a game you already bought a couple years before.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually funny. When I got Resident Evil 2, I was desperately trying to find the guidebook, and the only guidebook I could find was where it had both Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 together, and it turns out that they were both for the GameCube version. So that and it showed. I thinking, is this the same game here? Like, I was hoping that they would remaster and stuff like that, and I almost got suckered into buying them. But luckily, I thinking this looks the same, the graphics are the same, even the box art looks the same. This gotta be the same game, and so luckily I didn't sucker into that, Anthony, because I would have been mad. But yeah, like of course I forgot to mention one of the costumes here. You could play as Regina from Dino Crisis, and I remember thinking, if I play as Regina from Dino Crisis in this game, well, we'll have the same type of door scene from Dino Crisis, because that'd be cool if it did, but turns out that wasn't at all. But the Regina costume is basically Regina looking, but you can kind of see Jill's face on the Regina costume, if that makes sense. Because yeah, but this game, I can only give once again the PlayStation Edition version of rating, which will probably be a definite perfect 10. I wish I could give it a higher than a perfect 10 because the game is absolutely perfect. I mean, it's the best Resident Evil game. I've beaten this game so much. I'm trying to beat it on hard mode. I haven't got them yet, but I know I'm getting better. But like, and I've had to mention also some very challenging puzzles here in this game. Like there's like one puzzle in the game I haven't even memorized completely yet, and yeah, so that shows how much challenge factor and fun factor this game has. I don't know, but what would you give this, Anthony? Like each version.
PS1 10 out of 10, perfect. GameCube probably a 6 out of 10. Same thing as the Resident Evil 2. Dreamcast, perfect. PC, perfect. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. No, I'm not. So yeah, that's just, yeah, it's great. Please remake it.
Yeah, definitely. This is one game I want remade, and I hope it's done right.